So San Diego has changed quite a bit since my family and I moved here almost a decade ago now, which is crazy to me. In this video, I'm sharing the biggest transformations, both the good and the not so good. And hopefully by the end of this video, you can decide for yourself if San Diego is right for you. So one of the first things you'll notice about San Diego today is how much more expensive things have gotten. Gas prices, insurance, food, and especially housing have all shot up over the years. For example, over the past few years, gas has fluctuated between $4 and $6 a gallon, and the median price of a house has almost doubled. Back in 2015, the median home price was right around $450,000, but now the average home costs over $850,000. It's getting harder and harder for people to afford to live here. One comment I get from a lot of friends and family that live here in San Diego are, how are my kids ever going to be able to afford home here in San Diego? And I don't really have the answer for that.
That's why I plan to marry an extremely rich woman.
And it's not just homes. Rent prices have also gone through the roof. The average price for a one-bedroom apartment here in San Diego is $2,300. Even everyday things like groceries are more expensive than they used to be. San Diego is now one of the most expensive cities in the entire United States, which is making it tough for young people and older people to stay here long term.
Can you say bye, Grandma?
Constantly get people that have been living here for many, many years and having to leave the city to retire. San Diego has also been working on making public transportation better here in the city. They extended the trolley line recently, which now connects more parts of the city, and the cross-border express terminal has made it super easy to travel between the United States and Mexico. They're even upgrading the Terminal 1 at the airport as we speak, and that should be done sometime next year. All of these changes have made it easier to get around the city without relying solely on a car all the time. The new trolley line connects areas to like UTC to downtown, and maybe one day they could connect the trolley to other parts of North County, San Diego.
Don't hold your breath!
But maybe that's just wishful thinking, but a guy can dream. But even with all of these improvements, most residents will need at least one car to navigate the city on a regular basis. So another big change I've seen in San Diego is the sports scene. We certainly had its ups and downs with sports over the years. Back in 2017, the Chargers left for Los Angeles after a failed vote for a hotel tax to help build a new stadium, which is a huge bummer for me because I'm a huge football fan and I was sad to see them go. But I also totally understand why people don't want to pay for somebody else's stadium. Totally get that. And the Padres have gotten way better over the last couple of years. They were going out there and spending some money, and the city has been electric over the last 2 Octobers, and it was really fun to see, especially after they have not made the playoffs that went over a decade before this latest run. And even though losing the Chargers hurt, the city's excitement for the Padres has grown quite a bit. Petco Park is one of the best stadiums to watch a game in the entire country. San Diego's soccer scene is also booming right now with the San Diego Wave and the future San Diego Football Club, which will be, I think, coming to San Diego next year. We also have NBA basketball back in San Diego with the Los Angeles Clippers G League team set to kick off their first season here in Oceanside next month. So the sports culture here in San Diego has changed quite a bit over the last 10 years, and mostly for the better. Minus the Chargers. So another thing I wanted to mention here is the food scene. When we first moved here, San Diego wasn't really known for its food, except for its amazing Mexican food scene, obviously. But now the food scene has totally blown up over the years. You can find all kinds of great restaurants all over the city, and on top of that, the craft beer scene has grown a lot too. There are over 150 breweries now to choose from in San Diego County, making it one of the best places to find craft beer in the entire United States. Places like North Park and Little Italy have become food hotspots attracting both locals and tourists. You can find everything from gourmet seafood to fusion tacos here, plus San Diego's even started getting national recognition for its food, with restaurants earning awards and Michelin stars, which wasn't happening before. San Diego County now boasts 4 Michelin star restaurants, and it is also home to 9 Bib Gourmand restaurants.
Aren't you fancy?
We may not be up there with the likes of LA or New York quite yet, but we are certainly moving in the right direction. So what about the job market here in San Diego? That has changed a lot too. A decade ago, San Diego's economy was mainly based around tourism and military jobs. There were only a handful of tech companies. But now big names like Google, Amazon, and Apple have come to town. This has created a lot more job opportunities, especially for people interested in tech or pharmaceutical careers.
So what's the downside?
The cost of living has gone up exponentially, which is one of the downsides of a thriving job market. These tech companies have brought in a lot of high-paying jobs, but they've also pushed up housing prices because more people want to live here. And on the bright side of that, the city now has a booming biotech scene with companies focusing on health tech and innovation. And if you're thinking about a tech career, San Diego has more opportunities than ever before. The pandemic has also changed the way people work, as we have had an influx of people working from home, because when you can work from anywhere and keep your high-paying job, many people choose San Diego as an ideal place to live. San Diego has also been building a lot of new homes to keep up with all the people moving here, especially over the last 10 years. You'll see new neighborhoods like Three Roots and Sorrento Mesa, Seguita and Mission Valley, and the trails in Carmel Mountain Ranch, to name a few. These homes are all designed to be more eco-friendly homes and energy-saving features, and hopefully able to save you some money. These communities are helping ease the housing shortage a little bit, but not enough to make prices more affordable, unfortunately. And one other issue to consider, San Diego proper has almost run out of available land. Most of the available land in San Diego City has been built out over the last 10 to 20 years. The 56 corridor, where I live and work, was almost empty 20 years ago. Today, there are very few places left to build besides a defunct golf course or some other underutilized plot of land. If you moved to Del Sur or Pacific Highland Ranch in 2015, you would have about 10 different new construction neighborhoods to choose from. Now they are all pretty much built out.
So you're saying I'm screwed?
Don't get me wrong, you can still find new construction here in San Diego, but you mostly have to stick to the north end or the south ends of San Diego County like San Marcos or Chula Vista to find new construction. One thing that's definitely gotten worse over the years is the homelessness problem here in San Diego. If you live downtown, you'll notice the homelessness problem has gotten way worse over the last 5 years even. It's a tough problem that the city has attempted to solve to some degree, but it's been hard to find enough affordable housing for everyone who needs it. The city has been trying to address the issue with more shelters and services, but it hasn't been enough to keep up with the growing number of people who actually need it. It's definitely a complex problem with factors like housing costs, mental health, and a lack of affordable rentals all playing a part. This is an issue that a lot of cities in California and beyond are struggling with, and I'm hoping 5 years from now we'll be in a lot better position than we are right now.
Wow, that was depressing.
Okay, let's move on to something a little bit more upbeat. San Diego's entertainment scene has gotten a lot better over the last decade with new places to check out like live music and shows. Venues like The Sound in Del Mar and Rady Shell have opened to rave reviews, and I can attest to Rady Shell. It's one of the best venues in all of San Diego, bringing awesome concerts and events to the city. If you have kids, you definitely have to check out Sesame Place in Chula Vista, which opened a few years back and has one of the very few water parks we have here in all of San Diego. And even SeaWorld has gone through some changes over the last few years, becoming more of a roller coaster theme park rather than a sea life aquarium type place. These new venues give people a lot more options here in San Diego. We've already had a lot before then, but we have even more in the last few years. So whether it's a concert at Rady Shell by the Bay or a family day at Sesame Place, there's always something happening here in San Diego. And last but not least, another big thing that has changed over the years is tourism here in San Diego. Tourism has changed a lot, with Airbnb becoming much more popular over the last decade. People visiting San Diego have a lot more places to stay outside of hotels, which is great, I think, for people. But this has also caused some problems for people already living here, since a lot of the homes are now used as vacation rentals instead of long-term housing. There are over 12,000 Airbnb listings here in San Diego right now, compared to just a few thousand 10 years ago. They have put some restrictions into this in San Diego, so they are limiting the amount of Airbnbs in a lot of the towns here in San Diego, but it still remains a problem for people living here full-time. Airbnb has definitely made it easier for people to visit. We've even used them for staycations here in San Diego, but it's also led to debate about how it affects the housing market. Some neighborhoods are seeing more vacationers than residents, which can change the vibe of an area. A lot of the cities in San Diego County are still trying to figure out how to manage all these short-term rentals without making it harder for locals to find housing. During the pandemic, we saw tourism drop quite a bit, but in 2023, San Diego welcomed an estimated 30.5 million visitors who collectively stayed longer in the region and contributed a record $14 billion in direct spending locally, which was $1 billion more than the previous year. So tourism is part of life here in San Diego, so you better be okay with it if you want to live here.
More tourism, more revenue.
So there you have it. These are the 9 biggest ways San Diego's changed since my family and I moved here 10 years ago. The city has grown a lot, and while some things have gotten better, others have become more challenging. Now I'm curious to see what changes you guys have noticed in San Diego. So have some things gotten better, some things have gotten worse? Let me know in the comments below. And please don't forget to subscribe to my channel as we post new videos each and every week. And if you ever look to buy a home here in San Diego, I'd love to help you out. Thanks for watching, and catch us next time. Bye.